Matthew Ward's message. Ending the kingdom of darkness with warm greetings from all the souls of this station. This is Matthew. Bringing the long reign of darkness on Earth to a close is frustratingly slow, stagnant, or stuck in a cycle rather than progressing. These descriptions may feel fitting right now, but in the planet's eternal tapestry, this final phase of the battle between the forces of light and the forces of darkness is a very small, yet vitally important, part of the overall design. If darkness were confined to one area, it could be unraveled and eliminated. But it is not confined. It is a plague that has afflicted the entire planet for millions of years. And right now, the part of the tapestry being woven, so to speak, is the tenacious and tumultuous resistance of darkness's puppets who refuse to be uprooted worldwide. Dearest ones, your world's transformation from deep third density to high fifth has set a universal speed record, and your light has been instrumental in this unique triumph. Civilizations that refused the help Gaia lovingly received took up to 50,000 years to complete the ascension journey that Gaia's planetary body and its inhabitants will complete in only about 150 years. You are perfectly on track to reach Earth's golden age in about 35 years of linear time. In that continuum, the peoples of that age will thrive in health, joy, and well-being. If it's true that after Jesus returns the world will live in 1,000 years of peace, I think that's terribly unfair to Gaia. She has endured eons of darkness and deserves far more than just one millennium of peace. A literal interpretation of that biblical passage creates a mistaken impression, whereas a symbolic interpretation presents reality. The person of Jesus who lived 2,000 years ago will not return, and neither he nor your world needs that. His life as Jesus is one of the many manifestations of his cumulative soul, or oversoul, which has manifested in the Christic realm, the pure energy of light and love of the creative source. From the very beginning, that energy has not only been constantly available throughout the universe but resides within every soul. Even the puppets of darkness possess a spark of that energy. It is the life force of every living being in every bodily form. During the long ages of darkness, the Christic energy dimmed among the populace, except for Jesus and the other messengers of God, whose lives embodied unconditional love, the most powerful force in the cosmos. Now that the forces of light are defeating the darkness, a veritable tsunami of the Creator's essence of love and light is beginning to pour into your world. Just as the second coming of Jesus symbolizes the omnipresent Christic energy that will return in full abundance, 1,000 years symbolize the eternal peace that Gaia has chosen. God and the Sun, co-creators with her in the manifestation of her planetary body, will uphold her intention to never allow darkness to set foot on the planet again. How much of the Bible is accurate? The part where God asks Abraham to sacrifice his son to test him, is that something a God would do? And the killing of people for one faction or another. There's so much confusing information. What's your advice for dealing with all of this? Those passages of the Bible were written by early church and state leaders to portray the ruler of this universe as a fearsome God who demands obedience to his laws they themselves devised to control the masses. God would never ask one of his children to kill an animal, let alone a child, and would never tell one group of his children to kill another. Reflect. Would a loving God, as the Bible also rightly describes him, ever give such orders? We suggest you pay no attention to any information that does not resonate in your heart, the seat of the soul. There are so many fires everywhere. Matthew said weather warfare technology is out of commission, so are all the fires due to natural causes? Not all, and neither are the high temperatures or strong winds that are fueling the fires. Although geoengineering technology has recently been dismantled, the earlier events it caused are like the first links in a long chain. Everything is energetically connected, and when something is set in motion somewhere, it influences everything else everywhere. As the repercussions from those earlier events exhaust their energy, destructive weather situations will cease, except in the case of fires set by arsonists or individual negligence in campfire use. Should we be worried about being manipulated and/or deceived by dark forces to the point of giving up our free will before or at the time of our passing? And a related question. I've heard that under certain conditions dark forces can interfere with souls transitioning from physical life to the spirit world. What are those conditions? There are no conditions that allow dark forces to interfere with transitioning souls, and there is no reason to worry that this might happen. The lightning journey from the physical to the spiritual world takes place within a beam of intense light. Its high vibrations are anathema to dark entities, whose very existence requires low vibrations. Information like that concerning beloved souls being questioned is spread by dark entities precisely to generate fear, since they emit the low vibrations they need to survive. It is only during physical life that dark forces can attempt to influence individuals. I had high hopes that as Secretary of Health and Human Services, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. would root out the evils in the healthcare system. He has done so little about it that he's suspected of being a deep state mole. Is he, Matthew? No, he is not. Members of Congress whose votes approve or block legislation, and certain individuals in the Department of Justice, are being bribed, blackmailed, or threatened to prevent changes to a system that generously rewards pharmaceutical companies, private hospitals, and some medical professionals. The little that Secretary Kennedy has managed to achieve required compromises he did not want to make. This formidable obstacle to healthcare reform will gradually crumble. Some of my friends want you to ask Matthew if the United States and other countries will be taken over by the elite. It seems like communities called smart cities are popping up everywhere, and large AI facilities are already being built in anticipation of the takeover. I know we shouldn't panic, but it really does seem like everything is heading in that direction. Nothing that is currently underway and founded on darkness will come to fruition, and what has been established will be reformed. Everything conceived for malevolent purposes can be transformed into benevolent uses, turning swords into plowshares. I just can't understand how dark entities can feed on low-frequency energies. How do they absorb them? Could Matthew please explain this clearly? Everything that exists in this universe is energy vibrating on an unlimited range of frequencies, and bodies live at the frequency that corresponds to individuals' thoughts, feelings, and actions. The energy of various frequencies is food. It is what allows bodies to exist. Since the thoughts, feelings, and actions of dark beings are at low frequencies, it is this energy they feed on to keep their bodies alive. A dear spiritual being spoke of the other 6 aspects of our soul residing in other galaxies or planes, learning lessons similar to those we are learning on the Earth plane. 7 in total, created as aspects of our soul by Source. Are you and your other spiritual advisors aware of this? We would not normally comment on information if we did not understand its meaning, and in this case we do not. But we would like to take this opportunity to speak about what we do know. In the cosmos, there are 7 universes, ours and 6 others. The origin of every soul is the pure light energy of the Creator, creation/Source's love, the omniscient, omnipotent, and omnipresent all that is. His creations are the first souls. We call them archangels. The Creator gave them the ability and the right to use His energy to give shape or action to their ideas. Their manifestations, co-creations, were in light, thus pure, powerful, and beautiful. The Creator gave the same ability and right to every soul thereafter, and the rulers of the 7 universes are bound to honor this gift. In this universe, souls are aspects of the Creator God, chosen to co-create everything that exists here, from plants to people to planets. Every living being is a soul, and everything that exists, even inanimate objects, possesses a degree of consciousness. When physical life ends, the soul enters the spirit world, and the energy of its deceased form flows into a neutral pool, always available for new life. On Earth, this process is the same regardless of whether the soul chose a human body, a moose, a pine tree, or an insect. In the spirit world, souls with reasoning abilities have knowledge of their past lives. They decide what they want to learn during their next incarnation and choose the body form, genetic heritage, location, and other specific details that will provide the desired experience. Energy can be directed, moved from one vibrational level to another, transformed, and reshaped, but it can never be destroyed. Therefore, souls are immortal. They can incarnate unlimited times, evolve or regress based on conscious decisions, and live in any form, anywhere, and in any galaxy that resonates with their evolutionary state. Ultimately, every soul's journey leads back to its origins, to Source. Is person another term for soul? No, but it is a common and universal term for the individual. Now, a person is a soul, a microcosm of God, an eternal, independent, and inviolable being, yet inseparable from God and Creator, and energetically connected with all else in existence. All persons have the ability to manifest perfect health, loving relationships, fulfilling endeavors, noble purposes, prosperity, and goal attainment. Souls in third-density worlds are not yet aware of this. Each person is also part of their cumulative soul or oversoul, which is the combination of all their persons and their collective knowledge and experiences. Dear friends, you are far more than your intelligence, character, personality, achievements, setbacks, emotions, feelings, inspirations, ideas, perseverance, and resilience. You truly are all of that, and it is how you think of yourselves and how your family, friends, colleagues, and others think of you that defines you. We too, but we also know you as the soul you are, a repository of cosmic knowledge and ancestral wisdom, as well as the creator of everything you wish to co-create. Dearest family, all beings of light in this universe honor your unwavering faithfulness to your vital mission on Earth and support you with unconditional love. Astrological forecast for August 2026. August is a significant month featuring two powerful eclipses, the first of which is a total new moon solar eclipse in Leo on August 12th, followed by a partial full moon lunar eclipse in Pisces on August 28th. The solar eclipse will be the true highlight and heralds the opening of a new path for all of us. We are about to embark on a new journey that awaits us over the next 18 months, and it will be radiant. Any changes or transformations that occur, not only around the eclipse but at any time during the month, will be a clue as to what this new path holds for us. Expect new beginnings, twists and turns, and fresh inspiration this month. The lunar eclipse in Pisces is a bit more somber and will bring up issues that have been accumulating since the blood moon eclipse of March 3rd. It seems that other aspects of the story will be revealed. However, we still have one more eclipse to conclude the Pisces-Virgo series, so expect a final chapter in February 2027. It will be then that we can finally close the door on the karmic themes and lessons this eclipse series has brought us. Mercury is another planet to watch this month, as it guides us toward greater clarity. It seems we will have wonderful energies this month for writing, expressing ourselves, presenting, and publishing. If these are areas you wish to explore, August will be your month. We can also harness this favorable Mercury energy to clarify what we truly want for ourselves and how we want to communicate with the world around us. We may discover a new communication style or get to the root of deeply ingrained issues that plague us. Practices like journaling, paying attention to our dreams, and observing how we speak to ourselves and others are all excellent ways to work with this energy. Chiron also goes retrograde this month, adding to the lineup of retrograde energies in our cosmic skies. Once we enter Virgo season on August 22nd, the strength of the retrograde energy, combined with Virgo's grounding energy, will help us wrap up what we already have in motion, settle outstanding matters, and perhaps even begin planning for the end of the year. By the end of the month, we may start to glimpse the big picture of how 2026 will conclude for us, what needs to be done, and what needs to be put on hold. Of course, we cannot forget to mention the Lion's Gate, which occurs on the auspicious day of August 8th. The Lion's Gate is a powerful, high-vibrational stargate that celebrates the rising of Sirius, our spiritual Sunday. Although the Lion's Gate gets all the attention, there is also another stargate this month. The Regulus Gateway on August 22nd, another high-vibrational 5-star day for opening our hearts, connecting with our crown, and attracting abundance. Even though the Lion's Gate receives all the attention, perhaps this year you should turn your attention to the Regulus Gateway. In my humble opinion, it may be even stronger and more powerful for manifestations and divine connection, but the choice is yours. August 3rd. Chiron retrograde. Chiron entered Taurus on June 19th and is now moving retrograde, retracing the degrees of the zodiac it has already visited. Chiron does this so we can focus on the teachings it has been trying to convey. Chiron is known as the wounded healer and rules deep wounds. Abandonment is one of the primary wounds often triggered by Chiron transits, bringing to light moments when we feel unloved, discarded, and inadequate. Chiron will retrace the early degrees of Taurus before returning to Aries on September 17th. Once Chiron reaches Aries, any healing we have been working on since April 2018 will finally reach a turning point toward greater awareness and understanding. We may even find ourselves helping and guiding others through a similar experience. August 4th. Mars opposite Black Moon Lilith, a fiery day that will help stir the waters in anticipation of the upcoming eclipses. Pay attention to where and how you feel unsettled on this day, as it may contain clues about what is to come later in the month. Any latent anger or frustration is a signal to look within and pay attention to what is truly simmering beneath the surface. August 6th. Venus in Libra. Venus enters Libra, offering a wonderful, calming energy we can tune into. Take time for beauty, indulge your senses, and practice self-care. Venus in Libra is also a great alignment for beautifying our spaces and bringing more balance and harmony into our lives. It is also a positive omen for relationships. August 8th. Lion's Gate Portal. The Lion's Gate Portal activates at the end of July, when Sirius is reborn and rises again in our sky. The rising of Sirius has been associated with the elevation of consciousness. Sirius is known as our spiritual sun and has been venerated by many ancient cultures. On the 8th day of the 8th month, we celebrate the rising of Sirius along with the powerful infinity code 88 to help anchor Sirius's high vibrational energies into our being. August 9th. Mercury in Leo. Mercury enters Leo, unleashing a new wave of confidence that will allow us to express our opinions and share what we truly think and feel. Mercury's move into Leo will bring new clarity and enable us to see things without the fog of emotions we may have felt when Mercury was in Cancer. August 10th. Venus opposite Neptune, another beautiful heart-centered day of the month. Venus in Libra will oppose Neptune in Aries, helping to bring balance and understanding into our lives. Relationship dynamics may become clearer, or we may begin to become aware of how we are perpetuating patterns that no longer serve us. We may face some hard truths about how we have contributed to negative cycles, but observation rather than judgment will be key. August 11th. Mars in Cancer. Mars enters the water sign of Cancer, slowing our motivation and prompting introspection. Mars is the fiery planet, but in Cancer it will experience a period of calm. We may feel distracted from achieving our goals, but this is not necessarily a bad thing. Instead, we can use this time to gain clarity on our emotions and how they affect our motivation. Are we driven by the right reasons, or are we chasing something that no longer deserves our time and attention? August 12th. Solar eclipse in Leo. Let us joyfully welcome a beautiful and incredibly powerful solar eclipse in Leo. This eclipse opens a new door that we will walk through over the next 18 months. It is a powerful pathfinder for us, so use the energies of this day to set your intentions and think about what you wish to attract into your life. Although eclipses are powerful times of the year for manifesting, we must manifest with an open heart so as not to block the flow or the gifts the universe may have in store for us. Since this eclipse falls in Leo, there will be even more intense heart activations on this day. Allow the solar eclipse energies to open your heart and remove blocks and barriers that keep you stuck. Try to connect with emotions rather than getting trapped in thoughts. Eclipses are also highly karmic events, so pay attention to what happens not only today but throughout the month. If major changes occur, trust that they are part of the path. August 15th. Mercury conjunct Jupiter. A fantastic day for speaking, journaling, and sharing your story. If you have something you wish to publish or present, today is the perfect day to do it. We can also use this powerful energy for journaling. Any effort to express your truth will be amplified, and you will gain a better and deeper understanding of what you truly feel. August 21st. Venus opposite Saturn. Venus in Libra will align in opposition to Saturn in Aries, bringing some challenges to our relationships. But this isn't all bad news. In fact, this alignment will help us step forward and take responsibility for dynamics we are no longer willing to tolerate. If things are heading in the right direction, Saturn's presence will help us deepen our bonds and forge stronger commitments. If things aren't going so well, Saturn's presence will remind us to set boundaries. August 22nd. Regulus Gateway. An incredibly powerful and abundant day. The Regulus Gateway is marked by the alignment of the Sun with the fixed star Regulus. This star is known as the heart of the lion and is a powerful activator of the heart and crown chakras. It is connected to the spiritual realms and helps us unlock higher wisdom, abundance, and love. It's a wonderful energy we can use to elevate our vibration and bring abundance into our lives. August 22nd and 23rd. Sun in Virgo. We leave fiery Leo and enter the earth sign of Virgo. Our focus shifts toward a more grounded, methodical approach. We may feel the desire to organize, refine our routines, and begin preparing for the end of the year. Virgo is represented by the Virgin Goddess, reminding us that our true connection to God, divinity, source comes from within. We are the temple, and it is time to start treating ourselves as such. August 25th. Mercury in Virgo. Mercury enters Virgo, its ruling sign and one of its favorite places. Mercury in Virgo helps us express ourselves with clarity and allows words to flow. Activities like journaling, writing, public speaking, podcasting, and so on are all favored by this energy. August 27th. Mercury Cazimi. Another day of great energy for Mercury, as it aligns with the Sun. The alignment of Mercury and the Sun represents a rebirth of Mercury and our throat chakra, as well as the way we choose to communicate and express who we are to the world. Pay attention to these aspects today and see how you can reinvent your communication style. We may also receive a wave of clarity on this day, so if you are seeking answers, don't hesitate to ask your questions. August 28th. Lunar eclipse in Pisces. We close the month with a partial lunar eclipse in Pisces. This is the penultimate eclipse of the Pisces-Virgo series and will help bring some deep conclusions and close a chapter that began in 2024. This eclipse is also connected to the blood moon eclipse we experienced on March 3rd of this year. Issues from that time are likely to return for resolution and clarification. While this eclipse won't be as intense as March's, it seems that other aspects of the story will be revealed. Since this eclipse falls in Pisces, we may feel particularly sensitive and intuitive to the energies around us. Spending time in or near water, engaging in creativity, and being especially gentle with ourselves are all ways to balance some of the unsettling energies of this eclipse. Thoth, the keys of the ancient builders' dearest ones, there has always been an external perspective on the pyramids of ancient civilizations. Their architectural wonders have been praised and documented. Their history remains a complete mystery and lends itself to numerous theories. Whatever the reason for their construction, the pyramids hold a far deeper purpose. They were not meant to be monuments to study and then abandoned for centuries. They are part of the evolution of consciousness. A truly impressive activation has already begun. The pyramids have been dormant as living resonant structures. They are awakening and reconnecting through the planetary electromagnetic field. Imagine a giant orchestra where every single instrument has remained completely silent for the past millennia. Now that they are beginning to vibrate again, they will reconnect and find harmony, just like other instruments that share the same frequency. Those once separate sacred sites are now joining together in a single network of planetary intelligence. As the field expands, the ancient energy pathways light up. Beneath the earth, numerous passages have existed since time immemorial. They connect chambers of sacred waters, crystals, temples, and civilizations that initially seem to have no connection to one another. This is a planetary nervous system that connects consciousness to the earth. Within this system, the pyramids act as amplifiers. They stabilize and distribute frequencies, just as the heart distributes life to the entire body. As these beings increase their resonance, surrounding regions begin to awaken. Dormant portals activate, subtle dimensional gateways become easier to perceive, and places that seemed ordinary to the unprepared begin to reveal their extraordinariness to those ready to perceive the incredible. Many of you have felt drawn to places out of the ordinary, and this is no accident. Many people have felt a connection. Your soul knows. Many people have agreed to come to this planet and reactivate its systems. Some came as researchers, others as healers, artists, architects, musicians, healers, and scientists. Each has their own version of the same mission: to restore balance in the relationship between humanity and the intelligence that resides within the earth. Some will discover unknown places. Others will uncover technologies hidden by time. Keep in mind that your planet has always possessed advanced technologies. They were simply hidden. Various civilizations from other planets have collaborated with advanced human cultures at different stages of your planet's evolution. From this collaboration emerged technologies focused directly on consciousness, rather than on technological control. These technologies could amplify thought, stabilize fields of emotional coherence, interact with crystalline structures, control gravitational fields, and enable interdimensional communications. These technologies required inner coherence, rather than external control. They were deaf to the unbalanced mind and the closed heart. For this reason, much of this information has been deliberately kept hidden until humanity reached a level where the maturity of wisdom would keep pace with technological progress. This level is approaching. This is why many of the souls who have inhabited your planet are beginning to awaken abilities and capacities that, in this incarnation, have never been taught or practiced. Some feel inspired to draw symbols unfamiliar to them. Some are able to reproduce the sounds of the language of light without any prior knowledge of that language. Some remember sacred geometry, or feel the impulse to travel to places they were previously unaware of. The symbols, sounds, and spiritual frequencies that are returning to humanity are not merely beautiful spiritual expressions. They are keys. Every intention has the potential to influence the crystalline structure of the earth. As more and more people remember these keys, the ancient technologies will respond to the resonance for which they were created. For many, it remains a mystery why a multitude of people, in different countries, are experiencing the same peculiar phenomena. Receiving geometric visions, meditative contact with unknown languages, or the impulse to connect with ancient civilizations. The answer is both simple and very beautiful. Earth's memory is returning. As the earth heals and mourns, it asks those who care for it to heal and mourn with her. Are you one of them? The silent power of Yantras, Sacred geometry for inner stillness. A yantra is a geometric pattern with energy that can anchor the wandering mind in a noisy world. You may desire the peace offered by deep meditation practices. But what if your mind keeps wandering during meditation? This is where yantras can support your practice and offer you that state of peace. My entry into the world of Hindu yantras was not as a practitioner, but as an explorer. After being introduced to meditation through the guidance of the Indian spiritual guru Sadhguru Jaggi Vasudeva of the Isha Foundation, I was drawn to explore the deeper aspects of inner work. I discovered that yantras, intricate geometric designs used as a visual tool to support meditative practices, recurred frequently in my research, in various books, ancient texts, and conversations. I felt compelled to experiment with them personally after reading that those who practiced with them consistently reported a simple yet profound effect: a sense of calm, serenity, and a return to oneself. What is a yantra? A yantra may look like a simple decorative object, but it holds mystical significance. It can be made of paper, metal, or wood, or even drawn on certain leaves. Yantras are also widely available commercially for those not interested in creating one themselves. At the center is the bindu, or point, symbolizing the source from which all creation begins. Circles and lotus petals extend outward, and triangles, one pointing up and one down, represent the masculine and feminine energies in action. This is not just a diagram, but a guide to all existence. The word yantra comes from the Sanskrit root yam, meaning to contain or hold, and tra, meaning tool or instrument. So a yantra can be understood both as a vessel that contains cosmic energy and as a tool that helps you reach your highest goal. Universal prevalence. While yantras hold spiritual significance in Indian traditions, they're not limited to Indian territory. Consider the Egyptian pyramids, symbolizing the integration of self and soul. In Islam, mosques shine with intricate designs believed to purify the mind and soul. Equally complex designs appear in Tibet and other Buddhist lands as mandalas, illustrating unity and interconnectedness, sometimes created and then destroyed to represent the impermanence of life. Yantras are ancient, yet through the centuries and across cultures, their quiet allure endures. Why? Why and how geometry influences the mind. The human mind is naturally drawn to patterns, especially those organized in a systematic and complete way. There is a serene harmony and symmetry, a sense of order that gently soothes attention. To experience the benefits of yantras, a disciplined process is recommended. But first, it is important to understand that yantras are not static structures. They are living entities. Life force is invoked by reciting specific mantras. Begin by choosing a clean, quiet, and undisturbed place in your home. Place the yantra on a low altar and sit comfortably, at a distance from the yantra but close enough to appreciate its details. Let your gaze rest softly on the central point, the bindu. Simply looking at the yantra is known as tritaka. Let the yantra capture your attention. Each yantra has a specific mantra. For example, while meditating on the Bhuvneshwari yantra, you can chant, Om Reem Shreem Kleem Bhuvneshwari Nama. Your mind will wander. It always does. But the yantra will gently bring it back to the present. As the days pass during this practice, the yantra will gradually take on a new form. No longer an image, but a doorway. You will discover that the stillness you sought was always there. The healing aspect beyond meditation. These geometric motifs in Indian spiritual traditions are used as tools for emotional stability. Each yantra carries a specific intention. For instance, the famous Sri yantra is associated with abundance, a sense of inner connection, and balance, said to attract positive energy. There are also other yantras, including the Vigna Vinashak, Lord Ganesha, destroyer of obstacles, used with the intent to overcome inner blocks such as fear and resistance. At a deeper level of understanding, each chakra is connected to a specific yantra. By meditating on a yantra related to a particular chakra, you facilitate the flow of energy through that center. This results in a sense of balance, clarity, and peace. What most practitioners report is not a drastic change, but rather a sense of emotional stabilization, mental quiet, and a return to oneself. This is particularly appealing in an era when anxiety and lack of focus have become the norm. This feeling of inner stillness may be the deepest healing of all. Leading inward. Although the origins of yantras are deeply rooted in a specific cultural and philosophical context, their essence is not limited to it. At their core, yantras invite attention, stillness, inner alignment, and universal experiences, while maintaining a rich traditional symbolic significance. The lines of a yantra do not move, yet they seem to gently lead inward. And perhaps that is where their true meaning lies, not in their design, but in the space of stillness they help us return to. The Pleiadians. Dramatic changes, dearest ones. We greet you. Drastic energetic changes are underway across your planet. Change is afoot, and you're being asked to let go and allow yourselves to flow through a series of powerful metamorphic processes that follow one after another. This is a time of rebirth for those in human form. Trust, breathe, and let go moment by moment. Through a broad transmission of resonance of divine consciousness within the magnetic core of the New Earth arena, you will go through a period of profound repositioning in the alternative reality space now being made available to you. This resonance of higher reconnection is designed to create a shift within your sacred systems, reactivating your heart's platform to another multidimensional level of your sacred blueprint form. Destiny is unfolding as you reposition yourselves within your alignment with the New Earth arena. The magnetic core of the New Earth will emit a resonance, opening a series of powerful portals to the authentic sacred timelines that constitute an aspect of the New Earth. These timelines have always existed throughout this universe. You are ready to connect with these higher experiences of self that will manifest through your interaction with the timelines themselves. There is nothing you need to do right now. Focus on surrendering to the universal flow that moves through your heart's platform. Rest in the aspects of not knowing in your life. We embrace you with love as you walk this transformative path. Blessings, the Pleiadians. Saint Germain. What to expect from this Lion's Gate portal? I am Saint Germain, keeper of the violet flame. You find yourselves in the midst of the Lion's Gate portal, and as you know, the door will swing wide open on August 8th, offering you numerous opportunities to seize that moment. Not only on the 8th, but through August 12th. How to seize these opportunities, you might ask. This is a time of great importance both spiritually and materially. It is time to focus on what you want the energies of the Lion's Gate to do for you. If you are focusing on something more material, like a job, an apartment, a house, a car, greater abundance, do not think you are neglecting the spiritual aspect just because you are focusing on materiality. The two are always intertwined, but you can focus on what you want to achieve and what you want the Lion's Gate energies to help you with. If you are more focused on your spirituality, your gifts and spiritual abilities, raising your consciousness, ascension, use this time to sit, calm your mind, open up, and allow a greater amount of high-frequency energies to enter. Because, of course, many are offering high-frequency energies at this time. Not only your sun, not only the Sirius star system, the Lyra star system, but many others are focusing on planet Earth right now because of this important astrological event. Allow yourselves plenty of rest, relaxation, meditation. Align your chakras. Align with Source, with Mother Earth. Breathe consciously. Hydrate. Follow your bliss. Follow your joy. These are good pieces of advice at any time of the year, but you can particularly benefit from this specific moment you are in by paying attention to what you focus on and how you take care of yourselves physically, emotionally, and energetically. Use your powerful mind to focus and remind yourself that you don't have to do everything, that you are not here to prove your worth to a source outside of you. That is the old way of thinking. That is the old paradigm you are emerging from as a spiritually awakened master. So, don't think you have to do so much in this life, accomplish so much to prove you deserve the gates of heaven. Instead, enjoy the experience of ascension, enjoy the fruits of your labor, enjoy the physical reality you are in, because it is changing as you change, and you are becoming quasi-physical. You are moving from where you are to a higher density and frequency dimension. Enjoy where you are. Enjoy the opportunity to receive the benefits of being awake and aware at a time when the Lion's Gate is open and continues to open. This is a time when all human beings can thrive. I am Saint Germain, keeper of the violet flame.